Hello again. We are now going to go through conditional formatting, which is the final part of all these little tab settings, and it's the last criteria that you'll need for your exam. So conditional formatting, it may be in the City and Guilds exam, certainly more in the level 2, but I've not seen it in Pearson's so far. But it's a good tool to know, so please have a look. So what is conditional formatting? Basically, if we look at the yellow tab at the top, or the yellow markings at the top, we can see that conditional formatting allows you to apply specific formatting cells that meet certain criteria. In layman's term, basically, let's say that you were stock taking. People were taking things out and the stock was coming down and down and down. If you wanted the stock to highlight to let you know that you need to reorder, you could put some conditional formatting in here and say if any of these cells get below 50, change colour. And then when you come in one morning, you open your spreadsheet, you'll see the colour's been changed and tell you to reorder some stock. We can also conditionally format in text or numerical data. I'm going to talk about text later because you've got to be careful with text. Anyway, let's get on with it. So the first question here is apply conditional formatting on the points. If it is less than 500 points, you need to colour red. So this is the points column. So we're going to put some conditional formatting in here. If it's less than 500 points, we're going to colour red. So the first thing we're going to do is highlight the data. You should be used to this now. So in the center of the first cell, click and hold, drag down, and we're going to come up to conditional formatting. I'm just going to click on the drop down. Now, this is what I would advise. Just hover on this one, and these are the ones we're going to use in the exam. I will talk about these more. So if outside of the exam you want to play with this and improve your own spreadsheets, by all means have a go at these. But for these are not needed for the exam. This is the one. So we're going to highlight the cells. So we can see from our question over here, it says apply conditional formatting on the points if it is less than 500. So I'm going to click on less than. And we can see it started to default and already start changing it. I'm just going to make sure I change the numerical data to the data I want, which is 500. Now, you could leave it at that and say OK. Just put some conditional formatting in. But I just want to show you an extension. If you click on this, you can see you've got some preset colors here already. If you don't like any of them and you want to try your own, custom format. And this box will open. Now we're in font at the moment, so you can change the font from bold to italic or a mixture if you want to. So let's try it. We'll change the bold, and then I can change the color. So I don't like the red at the top, so what I'm going to go for, it's telling us to do red. My apologies in the question. Must stay with what the question says. Here's me trying to expand the horizons. So let's go for red, and then we'll say OK. And then we'll say OK, and we can see that everything that is less than 500 is being changed to red. Obviously, where has it gone? 500, there you go. That's not changed because we haven't said equals to or less than. So the next part of the question was, or if it's equal to and more than, you need to colour green. So you need to highlight all the data again, not just the ones that haven't been, that looks like it hasn't been conditional formatted. You need to highlight them all because we don't know what's going to happen to this data later on. So I'm going to highlight all the data, click on conditional formatting, and now we are looking at equals to or more than. Well, I can see an equals to, but I can't see a more than. So what we need to do now is go to more rules. And we could have done it from here. So we could say new rule here, or you can say more rules. So I'm going to go to new rule here. We're going to stay with the second one, format only cells that contain certain criteria. We're not going to have a go at these. I may show you some of this later on, not in our exam, but a useful tool later on, if you're going to be using spreadsheets from now on. So format only tools that contain. So we know we're not going to do anything with this one. We're only going to use the next tab settings or space boxes, whatever you want to call them. So we know that it says equal to or more than, so I'm going to use a drop down. So greater than or equal to, that's the same word, isn't it? Similar wording, greater than or equal to, and it says 500. And they want this to be green, so I'm going to click on formatting. We're in font again, so I'm going to bold that one as well, and I'm going to click on green. If I wanted to fill it, if the question asked you, or if you wanted to fill the cell, you can also fill the cell with a background color, but just make sure it's appropriate and fit for purpose. But I'm going to stay with what we are. I'm just going to stay with this. It gives you an example there. I'm going to say OK. OK. So there we go. Now we can see the 500 slip. It's as simple as that. Now, if we change any of these cells, so if I change 500 to 499, it should turn red. It does. Excellent. I'm going to leave the next question to you. Please have a go and send it back to me. Now, we were talking about text. Now, text, you've got to be careful with text. I think in the question, normally what it asks you is add some conditional formatting, and you get to choose wherever you want to put it, unless they state. But normally they just said add some conditional formatting. So you can choose whether you're going to add conditional formatting to the cash value, to the dates, or to text. So let's try the gender. So I'm going to highlight this. I'm going to come to conditional formatting, highlight on the first one. Because it's text, it won't be greater than or less than or betweens or equal there for numerical data. Now, normally it would be text that contains. However, if we look at column B, we have two words that share a similar word or share the word male. So if I use text that contains, you can see it's going to highlight everything because male is in both words. So in this case, we're not going to get this in our exam, they're not that cruel. But in this case, what you would do is you would come down and say equal to. I know it sounds numerical, but I would say equal to, and then I would type the word that I want. It'll only look at specific words, and you can see automatically starting to highlight just the males. So I could click OK, and there we go. So just be aware of that one. Won't pop up in your exam, but it's a nice one to know for future reference. So last thing I want to show you is, I'm just going to highlight the cash value, come to conditional formatting. I'm going to show you these other things, not in your exam. Please don't use them. This is just a stretch and challenge. We've got so many different things we could use here. It's a fabulous tool. Coloured scales, icons. I love this one, icon sets. We can have arrows. Can't really see what's going on there, can we, behind? Let me come out of that. Let me go into male and female just to show you. Icon sets. So is it going to let me do it? Not on text. Well, there you go. Let me try on here. In fact, let me go to card number. Sorry for this. I just want to show you these extra stuff that goes on. Icon sets. So can you see what's going on? The arrows in column A. You could have red, amber, green. You can have traffic lights. You can have flags. Oh, it's a fabulous tool, but not in your exam. So please don't use them unless you're uber confident. So that's conditional formatting. This covers everything to do with the criteria, the spreadsheet criteria for Pearson's and City and Guilds. Please be aware that some is in City and Guilds, some is in Pearson's. You should all have the Ark of the Covenant spreadsheet, so work through these and amend your spreadsheet, and once it's complete, send it to me for feedback, and then we'll carry on with the next part, which will be presentations, PowerPoints, Word documents, emails, internet search, and for City and Guilds, it will also be access, database, and mail merge. That's for City and Guilds, access and mail merge for City and Guilds. So, look forward to seeing you soon. Thank you very much.